Federal government says it has earmarked sum of 13 billion naira for housing projects in 2018 budget. Minister of Power, Work and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, stated this at the conclusion of the budget defense for housing sector before the Senate. According to the minister, 13 billion naira is to be injected into completion of housing projects across the country. Out of the amount, 10 billion is expanded on the completion of the building project embarked upon by the government. He, however, says 3 billion naira will be spent on the new housing project.
On the 36 billion is the inherited liabilities pre-2015 from 1999 backwards. That's the liabilities that we inherited as it relates to those constituency and intervention and MDG projects. Now, the 13 billion that we propose for this year is to spend only 3 billion on any new projects and use 10 billion to complete some of these projects and begin to partly wind down that 36 billion. Because some of them have left site, now that they see that government is committing funding by budget, some of them have popped up again. And we're saying, go and finish. We'll pay you. So that's our plan.
Meanwhile, Senator Barnabas Gumade, who presided over the Senate Committee on Housing, expressed his delight at the transparent and prompt conclusion of the defense of the housing subsector of the Triple Ministry and called on the staff of the other two ministries to follow this example.
The report, as we see it today, I know that many of them have been working weekend hours into the night to make sure that they produce what we have here today. And there's no question about it, that is commendable. We hope that they are doing the same in the other divisions of the ministry, because housing is certainly, let me say, maybe the smallest of the three arms of the ministry that you have in terms of budget. And if it produces this amount of work, certainly the other two must also have an enormous weight to pull. And I hope they are also working.
Another lawmaker who expresses concern over the housing project initiated by the government called on the minister to find a way of cutting out the services that attract root cause of government.
I would like to emphasize more on the need for this national housing scheme. The reason being that I am aware that there are so many players in the real estate sector of the economy, private developers, all manners of people are involved, PPP with some state governments, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what is most important is the affordability of the houses that these schemes turn out. And most of them are driven by profit-making motives, and people have heavier reliance on what the federal government can do for the citizens in terms of social responsibility.
The minister emphasized that the National Housing Program is a pilot scheme designed to test suitability. From National Assembly, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has said that no amount of blackmail from any quarter will force the National Assembly to abandon zonal intervention project because it is the tool with which they ensure equity in project allocation nationwide. He added that through the instrumentality of the zonal intervention project, it has been grossly misunderstood and terribly maligned, saying it does not change the fact that it has brought development across the federal constituency and federal presence to remote and forgotten area in the country. Honorable Dugara made the statement while speaking at the public hearing organized by the Joint Committee of Appropriation of the Senate and the House of Representatives. He employed the stakeholder and indeed other Nigerians who are showing more interest in the budget-making process to pay greater attention to the implementation of approved budget. Meanwhile, Senate President Bukola Saraki said there's a need to ensure real value for money in government spending as well as prioritizing spending on local-made goals. He explained that the Made in Nigeria initiative, with the particular regard to government procurement, is already in trust in the significant law passed by the 8th National Assembly.
In its bid to ensure that indigent Nigerians and those who cannot afford the services of a lawyer gets proper legal representation when necessary, the Justice Research Institute, a non-governmental organization, has signed an MOU with the Nigerian Bar Association to provide pro bono legal services to Nigerians who can't afford it. Speaking at the signing ceremony in Abuja, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Abubakar Mahmood, stated that one of the core values of the Bar Association is to make sure that every Nigerian gets justice, irrespective of their political, financial, or social affiliations.
Having done our due diligence on the JRI, we are very delighted to partner with you and to go into this relationship to deliver these very important services which will impact not only on our members but broadly reach a large section of the community which the Bar Association is interested in. We're interested in anything to do with access to justice, anything to do with human rights protection, anything to do with provision of pro bono legal services, because we do recognize that there is serious demand for these services, and we are very delighted to encourage lawyers across the country to show interest and show commitment to these various services to members of the public. We see this as important strategy for rebuilding confidence in the legal profession, of course, along with other strategies we are pursuing. For instance, a lot of our regulatory reform efforts are focused on raising standards and ensuring better regulation of the legal profession. So all of these converge to support our current priorities and current goals. So I'm very happy and very delighted to be able to partner with JRI, and we hope that this will be the beginning of a strong partnership that will continue for years to come.
On his part, Executive Director of Justice Research Institute, Nkem Isiekwena, said the need for legal practitioners to sometimes get involved in pro bono services cannot be overemphasized, as many Nigerians find it difficult to get good legal representation in court whenever the need arises because of the issues of fund.
This MOU for us and for the NBA was born out of what we know are the dictates of today. We live in demanding times, an increasing population nearing 200 million, and a significant number of these population are impoverished. So we can only expect that the interaction and exchange in this space would lead to just rights, the need for protecting rights where there is obviously violation. So we came up with this proposal in collaboration with the Open Society Initiative of West Africa to look at the areas of this demand for services where members of the society who are indigent can benefit from just some level of organization to ensure that we connect the bar with, the demand, and part of it is, just the advocacy required to ensure that more legal professionals understand the need to give back to society. So what this does essentially is that we are trying to set up a national clearinghouse. This national clearinghouse will be an aggregator for demand for legal services from those who are indigent. We also recognize that current efforts that are budget funded and go through the Legal Aid Council, it really doesn't do much to take off the great need in the sector.
Though the right to legal assistance is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, but in practice, accessibility to such assistance varied across different states. From Abuja, I'm Festus Ejirogenefife for Ben Television.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
The Senate has condemned the planned arraignment of Senator Dino Malai before a law court in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, by the Nigerian police. To this end, the Senate has directed its two standing committees on judiciary and human rights and police to investigate the alleged continued harassment of Senator Dino Malai by Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello. The committees are expected to report back to the Senate in 48 hours. The directive was as a result of a point of order move on the floor of the Senate by Senator Issa Misau from Bauchi State over the plan by the police to arraign Senator Dino Malai before a law court in Lokoja. Senator Issa Misau said the arraignment of Senator Dino Malai in Lokoja may lead to breakdown of law and order because of security situation in the state in the last few weeks. Meanwhile, Senator Dino Malai told the Senate that he has not received any court summon for the arraignment. Cross-section of the senator who spoke on the issue asked for urgent measure to be taken. Earlier, the police spokesman, Jimoh Moshood, said Senator Dino Malai will be declared wanted if he failed to appear before the court in Lokoja.
The federal government has proposed a bill to upgrade the Weights and Measures Department of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to an independent agency. Edet Apan, the permanent secretary of the ministry, said this in Abuja at the first quarterly assembly meeting of the legal metrology officers and inspectors of weights and measures. The permanent secretary said the bill is already before the National Assembly. He further said the department plays a vital role in driving the economy of the nation, Hence, the federal government will ensure that every attention needed to make the department to be more functional and productive will be provided. The Acting Director of Weights and Measures, Engineer Mohammed Sidi Sada, said the department has been able to generate about 400 million naira as revenue, despite the challenges it faced in the performance of its duties. He said the restoration of the 20% retention of internally generated revenue for the use of the department has been a morale booster for the department in our performance. Also in the business, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) says the country's phone subscription has reached 147 million as at January 2018. The executive vice chairman of the commission, Omar Dambata, said this during NCC Special Day at the ongoing 29th Enugu International Trade Fair. Dambata, who was represented by the Director of Public Affairs, Tony Ojobo, said the country's social media space had continued to thrive. He said Nigerians were not left behind with services and innovations that abound in their information communication technology. He said Nigerians were not left behind with services and innovations that abound in the information communication technology industry. Dambata said the Commission will soon issue directives to service providers to give 14 days window to subscribers to enable them roll over their unused data.